the big schools in the United States, the universities recognize the accreditations.
Perfect question. What's your name?
How different is American high school diploma program from Indian boards?
American high school diploma is treated as the number one. Why? Because in American you have 480 subject option. Let's say you want to specialize in business. I was expecting this question. நான் இதுக்கு ஆன்சர் நானே பண்ணிடக்கூடாதுன்னு I was consciously waiting somebody to put.
I am Darun of grade 8 in Kalvi Intercontinental School. And actually I have a doubt. What is the key feature of American board?
The key benefits to having United States accreditations include that when you're accredited through a U.S. body such as WASC, your credits are transferable to schools like Harvard and UCLA and USC and Stanford and Princeton and MIT. So all the big schools in the United States, the universities recognize the accreditations. So if you receive accreditations through the accrediting body, you can transfer your units into the universities. Plus, it makes it easier to get accepted, especially when you're younger. So when you're in high school and you have the accreditations, it looks better on your resume because you've already taken the courses, so universities welcome you. You have a jump start on students that don't. So it's great accreditations. In the United States, we call it dual enrollment, and I've been on part-time faculty at Irvine Valley College for 9 years, but I actually go in the mornings and I teach at the high schools. And I had 2 students simultaneously get their high school diploma and their associate's degree, which was 60 units. And one student, who was ironically an Indian, got into Harvard and transferred. At 18 years old, he got his associate's and a high school diploma. So it has a lot of good benefits to having the accreditation. Did that answer your question?
I'll give a few points. As Mr. Johnny mentioned, there's 2 things he highlighted. Dual enrollment, American high school diploma. 3, transferable credits. And he mentioned associate degree. I'll explain you what these are. Okay? American high school diploma is your 12th standard certificate. We all write our public exams, right? And we receive 12th certificate. So American high school diploma is equivalent of a 12th certificate, right? So let's say you're in CBSE, you receive 12th standard certificate, and let's say you're in IGCSE, you receive A levels and O level certificate. When you do American program, you receive American high school diploma, which is the top rated 12th standard certificate level in the world. CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, IB, there's lot of 12th graduation levels. American high school diploma is treated as the number one. Why? Because you have that flexibility of studying your college when you are in high school, right? When you are in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, you will do 1 semester in 9th, first year 1 semester, first year 2nd semester in 10th, second year 1st semester in 11th, second year 2nd semester in 12th. That means when you're completing your 12th standard, you're receiving your American high school diploma, plus you're also receiving your associate degree, which is 2 years of your college degree. Is it advanced? So then when you go to college, you don't have to do 4 years studies, you'll only do 2 years because you already completed 2 years of degree when you're in school itself, right? And when you are already in school, ma'am, I'm in school, how can I get American college degree? Because you will be dually enrolled in a university in the US and you are studying in Kalvi school. So you are dually enrolled, right? And because you are already registered student in the United States, when you are applying for a visa, you are not considered as a student visa or a new applicant. You are already an US university student, so you are considered as a returning student to the US. Your visa is seamless. Tick. And when you want to go to a bigger university like Dr. Johnny mentioned, Harvard, MIT, Stanford, and all these universities, you need to do application? No. US universities, usually you have to sit and do application, wait for months, do your essays, upload your portfolios, nothing required because you're already studying in an American accredited schools, and the same accreditation body accredits all these universities, Stanford, Harvard, all these, so we are under the same umbrella. So you just transfer your credit from school, from the university to the Ivy League institution. Yes, seamless, and that's exactly this accreditation will benefit you.
Sir, I have one query about this. By studying the American curriculum, will it also apply entrepreneurial mindsets for the students?
Yes. So entrepreneurial mindset is really developing critical thinking skills. So as entrepreneurs, we learn how to think outside the box. So we see a problem and we come up with solutions, and it basically gets us enlightened as an entrepreneur. So when you go through these courses, you learn critical thinking skills, which in turn promotes the skill sets of entrepreneurial set. But it's the critical thinking skills that you learn that inspire you to be an entrepreneur. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you, sir. It really helped.
Okay.
As I told you, you will be starting to select your subjects from grade 9 onwards, right? For you, how many subject selections you have in your 12th standard right now, let's say in CBSE? How many groups we offer? 4 or 5 groups, right? Similarly, in other curriculums also, there's like 20 subject option or 30 subject option. In American, you have 480 subject option. Let's say you want to specialize in business, you have a list of domains which you can specialize before even you complete your 12th standard. And most of these curriculums are exponential learning. So it's not just you study like a definition and you memorize it and you go write exam. Doesn't work like that. You basically have to live by it. So you will learn the topic and then you will build your ideas, or you research, or you do LTI, we call it learning through internship, right? So let's say you've taken business or marketing or sales, you will be connected with a real company who's on that particular domain and you will be trained hands-on. So that will inculcate entrepreneurial mindset.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all.
How different is American high school diploma program from Indian boards? Kindly can you spare your time to compare and contrast both?
Most students in America thrive to do the AP classes, which is the advanced placement. And that gives them a bigger dimension of courses to take. So that introduces them to the college curriculum. So I think the big advantage to the US program is that the AP classes are predominant and most of the children try to get in them because that's doing the high school preparation. As far as the standard classes, I believe it's probably the same. I've looked at some of the books, and you have your health and your sciences, math. So I think the curriculum's probably the same or close to the same, but then again, I don't know India. But the development of, instead of memorization, we thrive on critical thinking skills and self-learning. So in the US, we're doing a lot more self-learning to just basically get the students to think outside the box and solve problems on their own and not just textbook driven. So the curriculum's been going more that way lately. Do you want
Thank
to
you, sir.
elaborate?
I'll give a more specific elaboration. So when the difference between Indian and American. So what do we do in 10th and 12th? We teach a subject, you all prepare for exam, and you write exam, and then you get your scores, and you're good. That's all, right? In American, let's say you take, out of 100, how much is the pass score?
About 35.
35 and 40, right? So in American, it doesn't work like 30-40. You need to be 100%. 100 out of 100. Here you're not writing an exam, but you're mastering every concept you're learning, right? So let's say you're doing math, okay? So you take 80, your parents happy? 60 marks out of 100, we are okay, right? But we are still pass. And your exams are conducted at the year end. So the whole year what you do, nobody cares, basically. The year-end examination comes in account. But in American, you can't do all these things. It needs to be year-round performance consistently for 4 years. 9, 10, 11, 12. All the 4 years together, 24 credits to pass 12th standard. 4 years of consistent work, learning, and exploring and demonstrating will lead you to American high school diploma. Then imagine, let's take 2 students who have did a consistent learning and mastered 100% in every lesson he did, how he will be. And we, last 3 months, உட்காந்து ராத்திரி பகல்னு படித்து ஒரு ஸ்கோர் எடுத்து வெளியே வந்துடுறோம். We take good score, yes, but when we enter to the university, நம்ம ஷார்ட் டேர்ம் மெமரி பண்ணோம், அதோட அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் இருக்க மாட்டேங்குது. ஸோ தென் வி கோ டு த யூனிவர்சிட்டி, வி ஸ்ட்ரகிள் அ லாட். எஸ், அங்கே போய்ட்டு திரும்பவும் ஃப்ரம் த பிகினிங் வி நீட் டு லேர்ன். எஸ், many a time we have so much of learning gap, we are not able to cope up well in universities. We withdraw from the program, we discontinue from the program, and sometimes they say, ma'am, this is too tough for me, can I take something simple? Even though the child is very capable, he is just got too much of learning gap added to him, so there's high pressure. There's only 2 years left, I already have like 20 plus arrears, what should I do? That's what happens. In American, there is no option for it at all, because you've been mastering every subject. Without 80 and 100, you will not be moved to the next lesson itself. That's the difference.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, sir. This is Sandra. I have a question. By studying this curriculum, will the students get any property while seeking global career opportunities, and how?
What we do is the business management courses. So if you are in dual enrollment, the first class that they give you for college prep is called Management 1. And it's a 16-week course, and it's 20 chapters, and it's really an introduction to business administration. And it allows students to find themselves, and it will have sections on communication. So you'll learn to communicate with different people in different parts of the world, cultures, beliefs, international marketing, there's advertising, international advertising. So the introduction to MBA or business administration basically prepares you for the global world. So when you learn about economics, it's just not micro and macro in your country, it's a world economics, and how you do business in the world. So I truly believe that just the Management 1 course would make you a better global citizen with the 20 chapters it prepares you with. When you're going through the curriculum, each chapter has a case study. Actually, it has about 5 different case studies. So as you go through it, there's different ones for international and domestic, depending on what section of the 20 chapters you're in. But they definitely gear you up to be a global citizen, understand the world, and things like monetary, the fluctuation of currency. Because when you get into an international business, you have to look at historics, because when I was here 21 years ago, the rupee was 33 to $1, and now it's 84, right? So if you look at historics, and these books or these curriculum, the chapters within them, tells you how to look at international, doing global business, fluctuation in currencies, how economies work, how governments work. So there's a whole section on government and politics, and how different countries affect each other depending on what's going on in their world at that time with economics. So it's very good curriculum to make you a global citizen, all the way from marketing to accounting and so forth.
I have a question for you. What is global citizenship from your point of view? Doesn't have to be an exact answer. Who do you think is a global citizen?
Citizen is a small part of our world, Mother Earth. I say global citizens help us take part in many other events.
That's really a perfect answer, because to be a global citizen, that is required for him. See, to be a global citizen, you need to have an independent thinking. He just did. I didn't ask for a right answer, or I didn't ask for a definition. I said, from your point of view, what is global citizen? What he expressed is, from his point of view, it's 100% true, right? We might differ. One of us might differ, but that doesn't mean he is wrong, right? That's what our curriculum tells you, okay? For one question, there is no one answer. In our curriculum in India, for one question, there is one answer. Yes? In American curriculum, there is no, for one question, one answer. There is one question, there is multiple answer. And every answer has its own justification. And we always, when we ask a question, we ask students to express their opinion and justify that opinion with evidences. Right? And that's how the entire curriculum is structured. So when you trained on this, you will be an independent thinker. You will have your own independent thinking and opinion on every matter you come across, and that means you're becoming a... That's all. That has your answer.
Thank you, ma'am.
Actually, innovation and technology has made us all global citizens. I mean, what once were third world countries are developing nations. Everybody has the same opportunity in this world just because of our mobile phones. I mean, we can reach the world. We can market to anywhere we want, right? We're all global citizens, and we have the capacity to basically enter into the marketplace because of innovation and technology. So it's a lot different than, back in dial-up days, which probably no one in this room has experienced dial-up. But, innovation as technology has made us go from, downloading a JPEG that took an hour to now having streaming video and teaching online and everything. So we're all global citizens.
What is the admission scope in India and abroad in colleges?
We have two different curriculums in India, right? One international and one Indian. Yes? Indian curriculum, when you study in India, no question asked, you can go to any admission. Any international curriculum you study in India, whether it's IB, IGCSE, American, Canadian, Australian, there's a lot of international curriculums. When you study them in India, you need a certificate called equivalence certificate. That is issued by Association of Indian Universities, AIU. That is the body who says, okay, your 12th certificate valid or not? You're eligible to go to a university admission or not? In that case, when AIU approves a curriculum in India, that means you will receive an equivalence, you will take admission. Okay? In AIU, there is 3 international curriculum currently approved, which is IB, IGCSE and American. So we are approved? Okay. So when you study in any of one of these 3 international curriculum, your school, when you complete 12th standard, they apply for you for the equivalence certificate, and they give you an equivalence certificate along with your international certificate. So when you apply to any universities in India, you will apply along with your equivalence certificate. When you go abroad, let's say you're going to UK or US or Australia, you don't need any equivalence certificate, you just give this. Right? And every country has their own norms and differentiation on this. Now, our country as well as the equivalence certificate, and many countries like Malaysia, Egypt, Turkey, Dubai, everybody, because their national curriculum is different and there is an international. So most of the countries are still issuing equivalent. Some countries have said we'll accept all the certificates, right? So we are very much approved, and you can take admission in any of the schools and colleges in India or abroad.
Hi ma'am, I'm Aradhna, and my question is, the AIAASC supports teachers in any manner?
That's an awesome question to ask. Yeah, that's your concern, right? Yeah, my teachers, they're good at teaching international Indian curriculum. Now we are having American curriculum. How will they teach? Yes. So how, when it comes to accreditation, there is 5 places we look into. 1, the school's vision and mission, how the school is structured. Okay. So for that we will look and see where all the school needs help, we will help them there. Then the standard 2 comes the curriculum and teaching. Okay. So curriculums comes from us, right? So American curriculum, Common Core State Standards, NGSS standards, we have a lot of standards which we will bring. How to teach these curriculum? So we use a mastery based teaching methodology that will be trained to all your teachers. All your teachers has to go through this training mandatorily, and they will also be evaluated at the end of the training whether they're ready to teach or not. And they'll be monitored continuously for the next 5 years throughout their accreditation, whether they're progressing or they just took the training and just relaxing. So we are like their teachers. How they monitor you? Study பண்ணீங்களா, எக்ஸாம் ஒழுங்கா, ஏன் ஸ்கோர் ஒழுங்கா பண்ணல, நம்ம டீச்சர்ஸ் கேட்குறாங்களா, அது மாதிரி நாங்கள் டீச்சர்ஸை கேட்போம். லேர்ன் பண்ணிங்கல்ல, when ஏன் இம்ப்ளிமெண்டேஷன் வரல, ஏன் இன்னும் அவுட்கம் வரல, we will question. ஓகேவா? Good deal? Yes.
Thank you ma'am.
And our teacher training program is done by AIAASC and WASC, and the certificate is issued by Harvard. So that adds more value to each and every teacher, because you are receiving a training and approval certification from Harvard University itself. So that as a teacher for you, because you want to grow up in your career, right? So that again compliments you big time.
So one more question, sir. Apart from academics, will the students branch out to other fields regarding building the future with the help of the American curriculum?
I had a student named Nandini, and she went through the 20 chapters, the 16-week course. And during that period of time, we were covering marketing, and we did international marketing and advertising. And we got to a section called public relations. And she never knew anything about public relations before. And she was really impressed, and she told her father that she wanted to open up a public relations company in India, in Madras or Chennai, and seek that as a career. So looking or going through this course where a lot of times students will find themselves. So somebody might go, oh, HR, human resources, I like that. I never knew, this is what HR did. And they end up finding themselves and finding a career from the curriculum. And maybe you're into sports, and there's a section on marketing, and some of the analogies that they're using in the book applies to marketing in sports, and you go, ooh, that's fun. I'd like to do that. So did that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Cool.
Okay.
It's like when we connect to other subjects, it's like that, right? We connect to from one subject to any other extracurriculars, like that, right?
Yes. So what happens when you're in, let's say, you're moving to grade 8 to 9. Okay, that's your crucial time where you have a little bit of decision making capacity, and you know who you are or what you want to do, right? And that's when a big role is played by our career counseling team, our standards for career counseling. So first you'll be given a psychometric assessment to know who you are, what kind of personality, and what is your expert domain and everything. And then your career counselor will work with you for the next 2 years continuously for you to come up with at least 4 plans, plan A, B, C, D. And then you will choose your subjects based on the 4 plans. And then maybe that would be something to do with med, something to do with engineering, law, any other interest you have, and then you will be carefully selecting the subjects based on it. As I told, the subjects are not just curriculum. All the subjects are real world. You just don't study a textbook. The textbook goes to real world and then comes back to the classroom, right? So that way you're getting hands-on in every domain. So our Indian system basically puts academics separate from sports and all these things. In American, everything is academics. Whether it's sports, whether it's art, whether it's dance, music, everything is curriculum. Everything has a standard. How you given importance to mathematics, you're also given importance to dance. You're also given same importance to music. In music, you have vocal, you have lyrics, you have instruments, you have composition. So like that, you have every stream to go deep down to learn with hands-on, just not theory. Hands-on, and then you are experimenting whether it's matching your personality. Whether are you being happy doing this. So that way you will be better.
Yes, ma'am.
That exactly happens in there.
So basically, to get what they call an associate's degree, it's 60 units. It's half of the 4-year. The 4-year is 120. And in order to get an associate's degree, there's, let's say, 6 different boxes. So in critical thinking, there's different classes within critical thinking. For writing, you have different writing classes. For speech, there's different speech classes. So you get the choice to choose, let's say, one of 3 in certain categories. And then when you get to the categories like humanities, there'll be different courses that you can take that might be tailored to something you like. So you read the syllabus and you go, oh, world religions, I like that. That sounds interesting. Or philosophy, anthropology. So in building yourself, and a counselor will usually sit down with you, as Mohana was saying, based on your assessment, what you think you like to do, and tailor classes that fit your needs or what you think you'd like to do. But it is pretty well balanced. And it's funny because I get a lot of parents to say, well, I want my kid to be a doctor. Do you teach medicine? I go, well, it's irrelevant because you have to do the 120 units before you're a doctor. No matter what, you just don't go and start operating on people. You still have to know humanities and cultures. You need to know these things, and it's the core 120 units that it takes for a 4-year degree, and it makes you a well-balanced person.
Okay, so as Dr. Johnny mentioned, this associate degree, like in our India, engineering student goes to engineering college, medicine student goes to medicine, 5 years of study, 4 years of study, and arts and science student goes to 3 years of general arts and science. In US, it doesn't work like that. The first 2 years, everybody studies same kind of subjects and same credits. It's mandatory for everyone. That's why when you're in high school, you're able to do that 2 years degree. 3rd year only you will specialize and choose your streamline. Whether I want to do engineering, medicine, law, anything happens after the 3rd year. So that's why that's a big advantage. That's 2 years when you're doing different subject, you're given more exposure and a real-time experience of what subject you want to pursue further. And then when you really go to the 3rd year, you have that capacity and maturity. Also the differentiation between each subject or each domain, how it makes you feel. Are you feeling satisfied? Are you challenged enough? Like, for me, whenever I choose something, I'm like, is it not challenging enough for me? It's kind of boring. Who wants to do boring thing? Who wants to do boring thing? I am not. I want to do something which is challenging me every minute, keeping me engaged. And that makes me feel good, no? So that's the exposure you will get in that 2 years. The 3rd and the 4th year only decides what you will specialize in. Whether it's applicable for medicine, engineering, law, anything. So you can't think like how we do in India, no? We take biology group, we don't do anything about engineering or math, we just go specialize there, and then we end up becoming doctor, and then the doctor wants to open a clinic, know nothing about business. Yes? We had this in our Kidspreneur camp. Whoever attended the camp in summer, we did that case study of a doctor in India completing the MBBS and opening their own clinic, not knowing the business and ROI figures. And our student, each one of them knows how it hurts and how much of money they spend, how much of time they spend. Will they be able to take it back? No. So that's the reality we all really ignore completely. As parents, as students, as teachers, we need to educate our children and educate our parents to know better about the reality of the world.
From government school, this private school is much difficult. Is there the same like in America?
Learning difficulty? No. Whether it's a public school or a private school, all of them go through Common Core. So curriculum doesn't get changed. Teaching methodology, nothing is compromised. See, even for me, I know more about American schools, American private schools. I don't have a lot of knowledge on American public schools. Recently, I had a program with Harvard where I was learning more about the district and how they run schools in the government schools. It's so interesting. They are performing better than the private schools. The structure, the teaching training program, because we go through all case studies in that. So those principals comes and shares what difficulty they had, how they encountered it, how the community came together. It's amazing how a school where the students doesn't even want to come to school, from that status to going to a top 3 schools in that state. So the case study goes on like that, and the government gives so much importance and priority in there. So there is no difference in difficulty, but the students are challenged the same way whether you are a private or public school.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, actually 3 annum and 4 decades before, people wanted to become police, IAS, doctor. But in this generation, 2024, all people want to become data analyst, full stack development, BA developer, and etc. etc. Because artificial intelligence holds this world and holds this generation. What are in American board teaching about artificial intelligence?
So let me go to your first question. Decades ago, people wants to become police. Now you are in school. Okay, when I was in school, what we used to say when people ask what you want to become, we'll say maybe engineer, doctor, lawyer, because we only know 6 or 7 roles, teacher, right? But when I really came to the reality of finding job, there was thousands of jobs. Was I prepared for it? No. I was left out like, kannakatti kaatla vitta mari engada poikirke. That's how it will be. The same, the World Economic Forum says, the students who are in school today, you all, okay, find jobs which doesn't exist today. நீங்கெல்லாம் பண்ண போகிற ஜாப் இன்றைக்கி இல்லை. நீங்கள் வளர்ந்து வரும்போது தான் அந்த ஜாப் ரெடியாக இருக்கும். ஸோ அப்போ நாங்கள் உங்களை ஆஸ் டீச்சர்ஸ், ஆஸ் ஸ்கூல் லீடர்ஸ், நாங்கள் உங்களை எதுக்கு ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணுறோம்? We are preparing you for the unknown. Because we don't know what you're going to be placed at, what roles you're going to do, because those jobs doesn't exist today. இன்னைக்கு நீங்கள் படிக்கிறீங்க, நீங்கள் ஸ்கூல் விட்டு வெளியே போய் காலேஜ் என்ட்ரு ஆகும்போது the jobs will be very new. What we are preparing you is for the unknown. For the unknown, what you need to be an independent thinker. That's what the 21st century skills are for. Being creative, being critical thinker, being a very good decision maker, able to accept failure. How many of us accepts failure? How many of you sit and cry, "Ayyo, na fail aite"? How many of you do that? Don't do that. Embrace failure. Be bold. நான் ஃபெயில் ஆகிட்டேன், ஆனால் நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம் ஃபெயில் ஆக மாட்டேன். நான் ஏன் ஃபெயில் ஆனேன்? அனலைஸ். Why did I fail? Analyze. How I don't want to do it next time. How I don't want to fail next time. Create your own theory. So every time you fail, I always tell my children, every time you fail, it's not you failed. Every time you fail, repeat with me, every time you fail, it's not I failed. The method I tried failed. Yes? You tried a method, that failed. That doesn't mean you fail. You're strong. I will stand like Kalvi. Yes? Whatever happens, I will stand so strong. Amma fail ஆயிட்டு என்ன பண்றது? திரும்ப I'll find a better way. I'll go to the next level. That is very, very important at this age, especially 6, 7, 8 grade. This is the young adolescence age. And this is where you all and the quitty baby age lerundu you're coming to this very crucial time of making decisions. இந்த பேஸ் ரொம்ப ஈஸியாக போயிடும். அந்த 8th முடிஞ்சு 9th போகும்போது இது கூட உனக்கு தெரியலையா அப்படின்னு கேட்பாங்க. இவ்வளோ நாள் நீங்கள் எல்லாம் என்னை இப்படி கேட்கலையே. You will have that. You will be alone there. But don't worry. Tell yourself, ஏன் அம்மா இப்படி கேட்டாங்க, ஏன் இப்படி மேம் திட்டாங்க. Don't worry. Just tell yourself, okay, they're expecting me to be a better person. I didn't learn now, but I will learn next. Can we do that? Yes?
And failure is just a learning curve. We must fail and make mistakes to get better. So it's just a learning curve. Every time you get knocked down in a business venture, entrepreneur venture, or whatever happens, it's the learning curve, right? So we just have to look at the positive, never look back, right? We always have to look forward because we have to focus on what we can control and not the past, not things that went by. Look at what you have control of and stay focused on it.
Finally, about the AI and all those rules you asked. Sorry, I forgot. So, preparing those. When we were in school, they said, why I'm giving examples of us so you can connect what's happening around you right now, okay? When we were in school, that's when we all saw computer. Wow, computer vandirukku nama school ku, right? Adukapram from computer, how many dimension it grew was different. Whoever was able to adopt, we all adopted, we all got placed in different domain. Right now, you're all looking at AI, artificial intelligence, chatbot, ChatGPT, this, that. Don't get scared, okay? Everything will be under our control. Mobile phones came like that, right? Yeah, we are a little bit on that control, but it's okay. It's okay. The technology has taken a little control over us, but it is for the advancement, right? So all you need to know, whatever the role, whatever the subject, whatever the specialization, whatever the job role, just be ready to take the opportunity. Dr. Johnny always tells one very unique thing. When you get an opportunity.
I've done this 5 times in my life, and this is Richard Branson. So Richard Branson states that if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, just say, my pleasure, when do we start, right? Doesn't matter what it is, it's an opportunity, my pleasure, when do we start? Branson goes on and says, well then from there it's easy. Find the 2 best companies doing the job, look at the common denominators, what they do, scale it down and do it yourself. Now if you can't scale it down and do it yourself, that's okay, you already took the opportunity. Now hire one of those 2 companies, let them do the job, you oversee it, make money watching them do it. But never pass up the opportunity. It's amazing. I've done it 5 times in my life, walked into industries I knew nothing about, and I took Richard Branson's advice and I was successful. So you can't fail. Amazing opportunity, my pleasure, when do we start? Bottom line, you'll figure it out.
So then go back home, find out how can I do that, or go back to the same ma'am, what should I do? Yes, have that courage and adaptability and the perseverance. Okay, I don't know today, but I will know next day. Have that attitude, this will take you anywhere in the world. Even sometimes wherever you don't even imagine. That's how I think many of us fell for. We never thought we'll be here, never thought we'll be talking. Because when I was in grade 8, maybe your age and all, somebody tells me, take the mic and talk, I'll stand and cry. I will literally cry. I was like that until grade 10. I don't go in front of the people and talk. I don't do all that. Don't worry, if somebody is like that, don't worry. Even every time in my classroom, they send me out in the morning because I don't tell the attendance loud enough. Voice romba thinna irukuma, present ma'am, veliye po. Every day, first period, I'll be outside the classroom only. Don't worry. Today, I address thousands of people. Yes? What you need for this? Just the open mindset. But again, ma'am, இப்போ நான் அப்படி இல்லை இப்படியே இருந்துருவேனா கிடையாது. Everything will change in different time and you will open up when the right time comes. Wait for the time and look the time around you. It can happen anytime. That magic can happen anytime. That time, don't sleep. Okay, that opportunity knocks the door, don't sleep. Open the door, run. Yes, we can do that. Who all sleeping there? You all can open the door when the opportunity knocks? Yes? Yes? Good, thank you.
Ma'am, most of them telling in Finland the best education comes. But in American is better than that.
Very nice question. Finland is not best education. Finland is happy education. Finland is named for their happy learning, okay? Because they don't pressure the children, they don't press the children for exam or like no scores or anything. All they want is happy learning, happy citizen. Their target is not to produce innovators, scientists, doctors, no. They want happy, calm, futuristic, responsible citizens, so they designed happy learning. Clear? American system is designed to produce more innovators, more entrepreneurs. Where we see all the companies are coming from? Facebook from where? Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Alibaba. List down all the companies, all the top companies in the world are from where? From UK, from Australia, from where? So they carefully built this 100 years back, 1907. There's a university called Kaufman University. If you want, you can research. They consciously built an entrepreneurial education system into the school system, and they started building it 100 years back, 100 plus years back, to produce such big companies today. So the entrepreneurship they started teaching early on helped their students figure out what they want to do early. So they all drop out in 10th standard. They're like, எனக்கு education நான் போய் start up பண்ண போறேன். US ஓட biggest challenge என்னன்னா making the students going to the university. Yes? So that is their problem in reverse, but they succeeded in whatever the strategy they created. Different requirement for each country. Our country is very good in continuing education. 12th standard முடிச்சு college போறவங்களோட percentage is very very high. Yes? Yes or no? நீங்கள் எல்லாரும் காலேஜ் போவீங்க தானே? 100% போவீங்க தானே? இது நிறைய கண்ட்ரியில் கிடையாது. We should be very proud of it. But the problem for us is when the student goes to college, they really don't have a clarity or an idea what they are studying or where they are going. அதை மட்டும் if we correct it and like make it more better, we'll be leading. We are already leading. We'll be leading in a better position.
Hi ma'am, I'm Shashmita Radhalakshmi of grade 9. Here I have a question that what kind of resource or support there are for the students who are finding learning in difficulties?
That's really good question. We said mastery based, right? Every child needs to gain 100. That is 100% on the concept. So the lesson and learning part, the textbooks you all receive the same, but the teacher, your textbook will be like, let's say 90 pages. The teacher, I'm sorry teachers, your modules will be 900 pages. One lesson for a high performer, high achiever in the class, avangalukku eppadi modify pannanum. A mid performer who is okay, parallelly building it, avangalukku eppadi pannanum. There is a child who has learning difficulty, how he needs to be given lesson, the same lesson. What is the intervention needs to be given? The intervention will be at least 20 to 30 different methods to try with the same child to introduce that concept 100%. And if there is a special child, a child with a special need, how that child needs to be taught. So the resource and material a child receives or a teacher receives is built so vast, there is no child left behind in the classroom. Right? That's the American education policy. No child left behind. What happens in our system? முடிச்சிட்டு finish பண்ணு exam எழுத we don't have time. But the system has created space for everybody to be themselves and no child should be left behind in the class and moving forward with another lesson. So they give time and they have different resources, and the system they have with assessment and the learning path, there's a personalized learning path which is set. Let's say you finish 3 lessons. Okay, there's a 4th lesson you want to go. Before this, moving to 4th lesson, you are given an assessment to see whether you finish the 3 lessons properly or not. Okay, if you're not done properly, let's say you still have 20% learning gap, then what happens? It creates a personalized learning path. In multiplication, in 2-digit multiplication, this child has problem. Teacher இதை உட்காந்து கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியுமா? முடியாது. Humanly is not possible, right? But the system is so detailed and it's AI integrated. So it identifies where exactly in this subject, where exactly the child has problem. It creates a personalized learning path for each and every child. All we ask the student is to spend 20 minutes on their own, self-paced, on their own to learn and take another quiz there. அது 100% child பண்ணுற வரைக்கும் அசஸ்மெண்ட்டை திரும்ப கொடுத்துட்டே இருக்கும். Where we don't have that patience, right? In my school, that's what students says, ma'am, 6 முறை fail பண்ணிருச்சு ma'am. Try the 7th time, 8th time. Then they'll come and, ma'am, I got trophy. So that kind of encourages and challenges the child. How many ever time you can try to master something. And basically it inbuilds, I will not give up. Because you cannot move to the next topic without completing it. So it is automatically building that idea and the mindset, not giving up attitude to the children. So there's variety of resources available.
Ma'am, what if few students are not willing to live physically in America? So can we still learn? Do we have other opportunities?
Perfect question. What's your name?
Pufita.
Pufita?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, give her a big round of applause. I was expecting this question. நான் இதுக்கு ஆன்சர் நானே பண்ணிடக்கூடாதுன்னு I was consciously waiting somebody to put. I am there for you. I know your pain. Okay, so we've created a solution for you. So ma'am, I am doing 2 years of degree of US in my school. 3rd and 4th year, should I go to US? That's your question, right?
Yes.
What if I'm not sent by the parents? We have cultural problem, we have money problem, we have lot of problems. Yes. Our Kalvi group has already initiated with this accreditation. We are bringing all the American, European, UK degrees to our own school, that is the upcoming college. So when you finish 2 years in school, 3rd and 4th year, you will finish here, receive the American degree or degree from UK or degree from Europe. Answered your question?
Yes,
and an affordable price, not at American price. Yes?
Thank you, ma'am.
Happy? Yes.
Ma'am, I have a question. Do we have placement cells and campus interviews to help us after our graduation?
Yes, perfect. So when you are in the system, you will not require campus interview, you will not require all these interventions, because before you even graduate, you will decide where you go, or you will have your offer letters with you, because you have LTI, learning through internship. Because when you are in school or when you are studying itself, you will be already working with the domain you want to get placed to, right? So you know them well. If you perform well, they want to keep you. Yes? So you already have your potential, or you will build your own startup, right? So the opportunity and the network, we call network is your net worth, right? When you are in this kind of system, you know your domain experts already, because you keep meeting them, you talking to them. How many times I came to your school so far?
3 times.
Many of you know me. Many of you have my phone number also. In case you want to do something in education, you will call me. Even if you don't have a phone number, you can find me on social media. You have a network now. Or you saw me with somebody in my social media with a photograph. Let's say I met a scientist from somewhere. And you can message me and, ma'am, I want to meet that scientist. I've done this project. Can I talk to him? Will I say no? You will start talking to me until I get you that appointment. That's your network, is your net worth. And that is something your school is already facilitating you. So don't look for somebody else to create your opportunity. That's a mindset you need. If you need opportunity, create for yourself. Go knock the doors, every door will open. If you want something, okay, I don't have a pen. I'll sit quiet. Ma'am, வந்து எனக்கு pen கொடுப்பாங்க. Will you get the pen? What will you do?
You need to go and ask.
Will you get the pen at the end? That's exactly happens in life. Because we've all done that. I want something, you will get it. But go ask outside. But you will not get in first time, but you will get in the 10th time. All you need is perseverance. You have another question?
Excuse me, ma'am. To avoid the hesitation, will we be given any communication or answer training?
Accent. Oh, okay. Communication, to improve the communication. Definitely. I told you, the personalized learning path and all these things, it's all trained on the accent. When you keep practicing it, automatically you will be adopting to it, right? And specifically to your English teacher, and the English, what we have is not like the regular English we see in whatever you have experienced. It is all informational text, literature text, and there's speaking, reading. There's a lot of different aspect to it. And how you adopt and how you master it is all depends on your ability. If you want to really be the top, you have all the ability. I told you, there is a different lesson plan for high achiever, different lesson plan. So you can become a high achiever to learn more. Right? If you finish, you have more to learn. There is no end to it. You just continue to do it.
Okay, so communication, right, is how we basically get around in this world. And neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, teaches you how the brain works. And all of us in this room, no matter where you're from, you learn one of three ways. You're either visual, an auditory, or a kinesthetic. So you either learn by seeing, hearing, or by touching, doing, right? So as you perfect or get better at your communication skills, your verbal skills, as Mohina said, that what happens in American English, you're learning writing skills and literature. So it's not just really pronunciation because you're doing other things. But the NLP in communicating, so no matter where you go in life, you have to talk to people. You have to express yourself. And when you know how people learn, you can be a better communicator. So remember, you have a visual, auditory, or kinesthetic learner. And when you know how to connect with them, you can build rapport quicker, and it will help you in life, especially in sales or any kind of communication. You know, you're selling cellular phones, you're selling a car, right? A husband and a wife comes into a car dealership. All you have to do is ask 3 questions. Well, state 3 questions. I'll show you the car, visual. I'll tell you about the features, auditory, and we'll take it for a test drive. And if you just be quiet, the husband might say, ooh, tell me more. Okay, I know he's an auditory. And the wife might say, ooh, love to drive it. And I know she's a kinesthetic. So now I know how to communicate with both of those people differently because one's an auditory learner, one's a kinesthetic. And when you master that, and it's very easy to do, you can tell by word tracks what kind of people, what kind of person, how they learn. And that's how you build rapport. And like I said, the communication of pronunciation of English, in the States, we go beyond that with the literature. And when you take English in school, you're not learning English because you guys speak English now, but you're learning more of the literature part of it and things like that. But always remember the visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, how people learn, because that's how you communicate. And communication is very important to get anywhere in life. Job interviews, when you're applying for the university, you might have to sit down with the dean or someone. So when you take these little tricks of how people communicate and you hone in on that, it will go a long way in life. So neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, and you have visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learners.
So adding to what Dr. Johnny just said, this visual, kinesthetic, and auditory. If you see, all of us in this room will fall under one category. Okay? யாராவது படிச்சு சொன்னா எனக்கு மைண்ட்ல போயிடும் அவங்க auditory. நான் எழுதி பார்த்தேன்னா எனக்கு மைண்டில் நல்லாயிருக்கும், அவங்க கெனிஸ்தட்டிக். எனக்கு புக்கில் பார்த்து படித்தேன்னா இல்லை ஒரு வீடியோ பார்த்தேன்னா அவங்களுக்கு விஷுவல். நான் சொன்னேன்ல இந்த ரிசோர்ஸ் டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ் வாட் அமெரிக்கன் சிஸ்டம், எல்லா சப்ஜெக்டும் ஆல் த சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ் ஆர் அலைன்டு வித் this auditory, visual, kinesthetic. So every child should be able to learn one way or the other. So the mastering is becoming very, very easy. Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you elaborate on vocational and integrated courses that you would offer?
The vocational programs, right? So all are under academics. As I said, there is no subject and academics separately. You have 480 domains to build your expertise on, from world religions to language specialization to archaeology, anthropology, cyber forensic, psychology. There's so many domains which you can build your expertise on, and you can even explore. Just like I watched a video about psychology. Ma'am, can I do psychology? Why not? Because that's going to help you lifelong to understand the people around you, your family members, your friends, how to communicate with them. There's communication programs, which is at least we have 20 different programs in communication specialization, email writing, business communication, creative writing. So every domain right now is a job itself. Yes or no? Creative writing, you can become a social media content writer. Yes? Movie production, editing, you can become all this reels maker. I'm just trying to connect with what you are into, right? So every job is new. All it requires a domain specialization. You have that. You can start earning from when you're in, let's say, 9, 10, 11, 12, because you're already getting your expertise, and you can start exploring how better you're doing by sending to a company, okay, this is my portfolio. Would you be interested to give me an internship? First a free internship and then paid internship. Why not? Who wants to do that? Right? And that's what this curriculum basically prepares you.
Sir, do we have student exchange program in semester basis as far as American studies concerned?
Yes, we have lot of student exchange across the world. We take children in person to their campus and they bring their children here, or you work with them online. So depends. Let's say all of us cannot afford to go to that country for an exchange program. We facilitate online. So you become friends with another country child, understand their culture, their belief system. Because well, let's say you're going as a director of operations to an African country. Will you be able to survive there? Now, let me ask one of the teacher right now. I'm telling you, ma'am, Ambika ma'am, you have to leave tomorrow to Kenya to run a school. Ma'am, what I know in Kenya, yes? So that's what we lack right now, right? But our children, if we equip them with all these different country culture, their beliefs and system, because some countries don't like certain words. In UAE, in subject or in any textbook, if there is a word pig, you're jailed. Even in class, unknowingly use that word, you're jailed next moment. It should not be printed in any textbook. So every country has a sensitivity, right, to learn that better if we start equipping ourselves better. Because now we are on a social media, on a world forum, right? We write something randomly. That might come when, let's say, I'm applying for a very big position, let's say in Australia, because all these embassies now go through your social media. They call it digital footprints. They call it digital footprints. They see your complete digital records of whatever you wrote in any platform. Even nowadays, universities, when they take every student for admission, they go through students' digital footprint before sanctioning the admission. Because they want people who respect other culture, who respect other race, who respect other people's value. So when we are building all this at an early age, you're becoming a better global citizen. Yes, you have all the opportunity within our system to be that. That's how it works.
Real quick on that. When I start a class, I always have my students go and set up a LinkedIn. And I have them use a new email, like go get a Yahoo, Hotmail, whatever, something they've never used before. And that's their professional side. And I say it for the same reason, because when you turn in a resume or you put an application to a school, the HR department, they pull up your digital footprint. So I start my students out, I have them go up on LinkedIn, I have them create the professional side of them, whether they're still in school or not. I put, what school they go to, what their academic, their strengths and, what they like. They're good at Microsoft or whatever the case is. But I build a LinkedIn profile. They use a different email, and that's the email that they have on their resumes and their school applications, and it's completely different because the digital footprint's real, and especially for job applications in America, HR departments, they profile you, and they do background checks. So we start all over with a fresh LinkedIn, a new email, and that's one thing I encourage.
You have a question, right? Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you on that.
Many students will be, how we can say, they will become many entrepreneurs like that. So you can explore to the all over world. Like IGCAC, like that, you can explore all over the world, right?
We're there in more than 193 countries with close to, I think, 100,000, close to 1 lakh schools across the world. So we are there. Of course, for India, we're a little new because American system always kept as a premium club so far, right? If you go list down all the schools in India who has American accreditation, you will only see schools who are charging per annum 18 lakhs. Right? That took me some time to break that door and say, this is affordable, this can be affordable, and please take it, please offer it to a tier 2 city. And I have to pursue everybody, telling them what are the benefits of this, why we need to take, why my student needs it. My student mean it includes you. Yes, it's my country, my child you are. So other country students are benefiting high time because they know the system, they've been introduced to the system early on, but our country took a little backward because all this premium club, so-called premium club, took this, and all those small schools thought maybe this is big. This might cost a lot, right? But in other way around, it's all non-profit organization. They're very affordable, right? And that's why it can be accessible to everybody. Your thought is very nice. Now I would say instead of going to all the countries, because I've been all the countries, I've seen how they've benefited from this education system. It's now important for us to utilize for our benefit. Because when you can complete your 2 years of degree when you are at school, that means you're saving a lot of time and money. Yes or no? 2 years of college fees. It's a big money for our families. Yes, but as a student, can I put some more effort and do my college credits also? Yes. Right? Instead of just memorizing the same thing again and again when I know I can score 100%, what else I have to challenge myself? I can do my college first year. Save time and money. So instead of going and working at 24 or 25, I can work at 22. I'll get a better job because I've demonstrated pre-learning in my education itself. So companies will welcome me. Yes, you'll be given first preference because you've demonstrated better. So that's what we need to focus. You all can take up that opportunity. Thank your chairman for that, bringing this. He had his own questions and doubts. Said, Mona, I'm convinced, but I want my children to ask you a question. You answer them directly. Brilliant children, because you're not afraid of asking question. Right now, at least these children who are sitting here, they're prepared. Those who just asked me, you put right question forward, which is beneficial to you. It was personalized question. Yes, especially that girl, what's her name? Pufita. Amazing, because you talk for yourself, you talk for your friends, you talk for your community, right? Because you spoke for majority here. I love you for that. You have a great place to go.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. We have got a futuristic vision from sir and ma'am. We value the time you have taken here from us to give the clarity. Thank you so much.
இனி சர்வதேச கல்வி சாமானியர்களுக்கு Kalvi Group of Schools